Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unwrap the hidden stories within corporate filings. Today, we're looking at a company that has been busy selling shares, and we'll see just how much they've raised and what that might mean. Stick around to decode this. Before we dive in, if you dig getting straight answers from tough corporate docs, smashing that subscribe button is the way to go. And for even more behind-the-scenes chat and exclusive content, join our Discord, linked in the description.
So, what we have here is a Form 8K filing. Think of this as a company's way of telling the world about major events that happen between their regular big financial reports. It's like a special bulletin board for important news.
This particular 8K is from ExchangeRight Income Fund, and it is all about some recent sales of their stock. The main event we're looking at took place on the 15th of October, 2025.
This is ExchangeRight Income Fund, and they're doing business as ExchangeRight Essential Income REIT. They are based in Maryland, and their main executive offices are in Pasadena, California.
Their main phone number is 855-317-4448. Now, you'll notice a lot of an A here. That usually means things like no former name, no previous address change, and importantly, no stocks registered on any major exchanges. This tells us they're likely operating in a more private space. They've checked the box indicating they are an emerging growth company. This means they can use some relaxed rules for reporting, especially when it comes to accounting standards. This is the heart of this filing. It is all about the unregistered sales of equity securities. In plain English, they've sold shares of their company that weren't registered with the usual securities regulators. They're relying on a specific exemption, Section 2A, and Rule 1C of Regulation D, which basically means they sold these shares directly to a select group of investors, and they made sure those investors were accredited, meaning they meet certain income or net worth requirements. Specifically, they're talking about Class D common shares. They're conducting a private placement offering, meaning they are selling these shares directly, not on a public stock exchange. They aim to raise up to $2.165 billion through this offering, which includes different classes of shares, not just Class D. On the 15th of October, 2025, they managed to sell 2,024 of these Class D common shares. The price for each share is based on what it was worth on the day it was sold. Let's look at the numbers from the table they provided. We're focused on the share class. Class D common shares.
They sold 2,024 shares.
And the gross proceeds from this specific sale were $55,000. Now, that might seem like a small number compared to their potential $2.165 billion offering goal. But it is a piece of the puzzle. For every share sold, they've brought in an average of about $27.17. This is a snapshot of their ongoing fundraising efforts.
Now, companies always include these forward-looking statements. This is a legal protection. They're saying that anything in this report that talks about the future, like their plans, strategies, or expectations, is just that, a prediction. It might not actually happen as they see it. Risks, uncertainties, and other things they can't control could make the actual results very different. They're basically saying,
don't sue us if our predictions don't come true. They mention that more details about these risks can be found in their other reports. They're pointing you to their 10K, 10Q, and other 8K filings if you want to dig deeper. Looking at the signatures, this report is officially filed on behalf of ExchangeRight Income Fund by its trustee, ExchangeRight Income Fund Trustee, LLC, which is managed by ExchangeRight Real Estate, LLC. The signature itself is from David Fisher, the executive managing principal. This report was signed and officially filed on the 20th of October 2025. So, what is the story here? ExchangeRight Income Fund is actively raising capital through private share sales. They've sold a relatively small number of Class D shares, bringing in $55,000 on the 15th of October. This is part of a much larger private offering they're conducting. The fact that they are using private placements and not public exchanges suggests they are likely targeting institutional or accredited investors directly. This allows them more flexibility, but also means their financials aren't as readily available or transparent to the average investor as a publicly traded company. The main takeaway from this specific 8K is that ExchangeRight is continuing its strategy of raising funds through private equity. Are they building something big, or are they just needing cash? Without more context from their other filings, like their full financial statements in a 10K or 10Q, it is hard to say definitively. However, the focus on private placements for a large potential sum
indicates a growth or operational strategy that relies on significant capital injection from a specific set of investors rather than broad public market participation.
The risks they've outlined are pretty standard for real estate investment, including tenant issues, market conditions, and reliance on their own assessments of business resilience. All right, that is our breakdown of ExchangeRight Income Fund's latest filing. What is your take on these private fundraising efforts and what they might signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really supports the channel, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate filings. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.